Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Miriam Talks About Things. Now, I know it's been a while, and that's mostly due to the fact that I've been just busy with university, and when I had some free time, I really wanted to spend time reading, and it also really didn't feel like I had that much to say. But today I would like to do a quick recent reads, maybe also what I'm currently reading, and some plans for the last few weeks of the year. Now, since we last talked, I've read 4 books. And again, I want to quickly talk to you about how I felt about those books. Now, the first one is Perfectly Preventable Deaths by Deirdre Sullivan. This is the story about 2 twins called Maddie and Kathleen. The twins move to a new town called Ballyfren with their mother and their new stepdad. Now, Ballyfren is a town that is, I guess, most famous for the disappearance of girls for generations already. And they moved to that town because their stepdad comes from the town, and it's very much one of those towns with sort of that feeling of everyone has a secret. The town has its secrets. It's a very mysterious, spooky town. There are woods, which is something I really enjoy. So the story is basically the twins coming to terms with that new place, finding their place in that new town, and for Maddie very much also finding herself again, finding herself outside of being a twin to her sister, coming to terms with abilities she sort of pushed away and didn't really want to admit to herself, as well as her sexuality. And I did really enjoy the atmosphere of this novel. I think it was very atmospheric. Again, there are woods, which I highly enjoy. But I also struggled a little bit with this book, especially when it comes to the writing, and it kind of felt like a bit inconsistent, because at the same time the writing felt very poetic and ambiguous and spooky and flowery, while at the same time being, I don't really want to say juvenile because 15-year-olds talk like that, but it switched from being such a poetic and mysterious writing to very much 15-year-old speaking type of writing, even within a scene. And I felt like the switch of that writing style pulled me out of the story more than it added for me, and that just really didn't help a lot of the story. I had a bit of a struggle with getting a grasp of the story for a long time. Maybe that was intended that way, but it didn't really add anything for me, and it didn't really help that I, at first at least, didn't really like Maddie, the main character, and the narrator. There's also this weird or 2 weird crush situations where that just pulled me off again because it was just very extreme. So yeah, overall I like it. It ended in a way where there could be a sequel, and I would pick up a sequel, but I struggled also. And please also, if you want to read this book, keep in mind that there are depictions of violence against animals, as well as very graphic descriptions of violence against humans. So if that's something you're sensitive about, please keep that in mind. On a much more happier, yet also serious note, I've read Dear Sweet Pea by Julie Murphy. I think Julie Murphy is most well known for Dumpling, which I do have on my TBR and need to get to very soon. But this one was my first Julie Murphy and definitely not my last. I really love the story. The basic premise of the story is that Sweet Pea, our main character, that's her nickname, or the name she goes by basically, her parents are getting a divorce. And to make the divorce more easier on Sweet Pea, the mother decides it would be fun to get identical houses or get an identical house for their dad on the same street. So she doesn't really feel like much has changed. I guess you can tell that this is not going to work out as smoothly as the mother probably hoped for. A second storyline is their neighbor, Miss Flora May, has a local column and is a local columnist for the local newspaper and has an advice column in that newspaper. That neighbor has to go away to take care of her sister for a bit and asks Sweet Pea to look after her house and send her the letters. Now one day, Sweet Pea comes across a letter where the writing on the letter looks very, very familiar and might be from her ex-best friend. And the plot sort of goes from there and may or may not have to do with the fact that Sweet Pea not only just opened the letter. That's all I really want to say about the plot. What I loved about this is definitely the tone. It was one of the funniest books I've read in a while. I really enjoyed the balance of it being funny and humorous while also tackling serious topics, and the fact that there were so many topics being explored without it ever feeling overwhelming or like one topic was not explored enough or one topic was explored too much. I think the character growth of Sweet Pea and other characters was incredible. How Julie Murphy decided to wrap the story up, and hopefully with that ending leaving a spot for a sequel, because I would definitely 100% pick up the sequel, and I hope there is one. There will be one. I will definitely be on the lookout for that. And I just think it was masterfully done, and I don't think I would have changed anything about the story. So I really enjoyed that, and it's probably my favorite read of the four. Not probably, definitely my favorite read of the four books that I've read recently. Next up is a first as well, and that is City of Ghosts, which is the first in the Cassidy Blake series by Victoria Schwab, also known as V. Schwab, which is, of course, if you follow me, also my first Victoria Schwab. This is the story about Cassidy. Cassidy almost died while drowning in a river. After that accident, she is able to lift the wheel and sort of cross the line between our world and, let's say, the ghost world, which plays a very ironic part in this book because her parents have recently got the opportunity to film a TV show about the most haunted places because they have written books about that. So the family goes to Edinburgh, which is known as the City of Ghosts, and to film that series. And Cassidy and her ghost friend Jacob get pulled into the mystery of that city, and find out what the so-called Raven in Red is all about, and trying to escape the danger that is coming from that. At first, I have to say I did really struggle getting into it, because it was very much like Cass wanting you to know that she's for sure not like other girls. And if you are wearing nail polish, then of course you are one of those popular girls. And she doesn't wear nail polish because, again, she's not like other girls, because she almost died. And there was an abundance of Harry Potter references once we got to Edinburgh, because we are there now. And of course, British English is so not the same as American English, and you really have to really know that. And that just really, those 3 points really took me out of the story a lot. But by the end, I really didn't care anymore, probably because it also really stopped being such a prominent part. And once that was away, I started to enjoy it a lot. I thought the basic plot points are very incredible. The rules of this world and the world building were fantastic. I liked the friendship a lot between her and Jacob. I thought the parents were great, and I loved the mystery, and I loved how it wrapped up and what it did. And I'm definitely excited to continue the series now, even though I was a bit worried at the start. Now, I ended my recent reads with a poetry collection called Witch by Rebecca Tamas. You can kind of see I had those spooky vibes in mind, except the sweepy. And that was definitely a mixed bag for me as well. And I find that kind of sad, because I haven't really read a poetry collection lately that truly blew me away. So if you have any recommendations, please leave them in the description, because I need them. I did enjoy some poems, and I think objectively, I think it's a good collection. It just did not truly click with me, and I noticed that an emotional connection is just as important to me as having a well-written one. I need to have some sort of emotional reaction to poems. My favorite was definitely Witch City. I think that one was very great. But overall, it was alright. Not my favorite, but again, just kind of sad, because I haven't really found a poetry collection that I've enjoyed lately. So we'll see. I have many more on my TBR, so I have high hopes. Now, what I'm currently reading is something I'm reading in German, and I don't think that there is a translation into English at the moment. It has also been translated from the Norwegian into German, and that is a book by Lars Mytting. I think he has some books translated into English, so if you have read something by him, please let me know in the comments. And it's called Die Tankstelle am Ende des Dorfs, which is roughly translated into the gas station at the end of the town, which is basically what it is about. It is about that gas station at the end of the town, and it's sort of a place where people go to also talk and stuff like that. But it turns out that the street where the gas station is placed might disappear soon, and it's sort of figuring out what happens then and trying to save that gas station. That's how far I'm into right now. It is alright. There's a lot of talk about cars, which I know it's a gas station, but it sort of pulls me out of the story. But I think it's very well written, very well paced. It's a calmer novel, which I enjoy. And yes, I've been enjoying it. Plans for the rest of the year. I don't think I have any reading plans. I thought I would get to Strange Grace by Tessa Gratton this year, but I'm not sure, and I don't really want to pressure myself. Because I'm such a mood reader. Plans here on the channel. You can look out for something about my advent calendar at the end of November. I will be telling you a little bit about that and where you can follow along on that adventure, if you would like. And yes, I figured out what I want to do with my end of the year wrap up. So you can look forward to a favorites video on my channel and a general overview of my reading on my blog. So look out for that at the end of the year, which is not too far away, and that is kind of scary. I have 6 weeks left of uni and then I'm done for the semester, for this year, which is crazy. Off to my 4th semester. I'm doing 8 semesters. That means I'm going to be halfway through, which is scary, but also exciting. So yeah, that's sort of the plans for this year. I will keep you updated once it is getting into the final study season. I have only one big exam. We have 3 little ones for one of the courses, and the other course is sort of handing in papers and stuff like that. So yeah, I already had one of my first tests, like the mini test ones. It went really well. I got an extra email by the professor saying I did really well, which is just the nicest thing you can get, because it really rewards your study amount and effort you put in, and I really appreciated that. So yeah, those are the plans for the rest of the year. Let me know what you've read recently, what you're planning to read for the rest of the year, and what your general plans are. And let's just chat in the comment section. Let me know what you've been enjoying watching on BookTube lately. I've been really going down a rabbit hole of Books and Lala's video. And yeah, I really loved watching her videos, that I didn't really mind not spending time reading. I really enjoy her videos. I appreciate her long vlogs and her thematic approach of doing vlogs, and I really enjoy watching that. And if for some reason she is listening to this, you rock. I really like your videos and they gave me a lot of joy. And yeah, let me know what gave you a lot of joy recently, what you've been reading recently, what you will be reading. And yes, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.